Before I kick off this show, a couple of things. There's news being bandied around that Billy Bonds is in hospital. And if that is true, we do wish him well and all the very best. And also, congratulations to the under 21s who beat Truro 3-0 on Tuesday night, where George Earthy scored one and made one. Callum Marshall also scored a goal. And Mohamedou Kante was on the score sheet. Again, a 3-0 win for them. So well done to the under 21s as well. So what's this show about? Well, there are a number of stories over the past few weeks that may have just skipped your attention, but they're pretty significant when it comes to West Ham. Three potentially exciting developments which could revolutionize the way we do our future transfer business. The first is all about this new AI platform that's been brought in by Maximilian Hahn, our head of technical recruitment and analysis. The second is the close relationship that Nuno Espirito Santo has with super agent Jorge Mendes. And the third is about the replacement of PSR with SCR, squad cost ratio, that the Premier League voted in last week. Now, before I go into detail about all the three of those things, if you're new to the West Ham Boys, or if you've watched the channel before, a QR code has appeared in the top left, in the top corner here. If you'd like to become a subscriber of the channel, click on that QR code. Takes you straight to the subscription page. Subscription is free, and you can become a subscriber of the West Ham Voice. If you enjoy this video, you can hit the like button below the video. Hitting the like button elevates the video in the algorithms of YouTube and elevates the channel. And you could also hype the video. If you click on the hype button, it allows you to promote the video on my behalf, so other viewers can watch it. All you got to do is hit the hype button and nothing else. And then if you're feeling rather generous, you can become a member of the West Ham Voice. Membership is $1.99 a month. You do get some extra content for that. And all the membership money that's raised goes to Prostate Cancer UK. And so far to date, we've raised £400 for that particular charity. So thank you for that. Right, let's crack on. The first I'm going to cover is the AI technology, and then talk about Mendes, and then at the end talk about SCR. Now, you've got to go back a little bit. When Tim Steidten, and it's relevant, so bear with me. When Tim Steidten left West Ham United, many of us thought that all those he brought to the club with him would actually go with him. Yet, Maximilian Hahn, our head of technical recruitment and analysis, has stayed on. Now, then Graham Potter came in and got his feet firmly under the table. He brought with him his wingman, Carl McCauley, to take on the role of head of recruitment. And again, we thought Max Hahn's days were going to be numbered. But lo and behold, despite Steidten, despite Potter, despite McCauley, all now gone from the club, Hahn is still at West Ham and forging ahead with technology that could be quite revolutionary and game-changing in how West Ham go about their transfer business. Now, the story last week is that West Ham United have secured a three-way partnership with Amazon Web Services and AI specialists Crayon to build what has been described as football's first end-to-end AI scouting platform. Now, it's no secret to many West Ham fans that David Sullivan has been somewhat envious of the player scouting system introduced by Tony Bloom, the owner of Brighton and Hove Albion. The scouting system at Brighton is a proprietary data-driven recruitment model powered by advanced algorithms, statistical analysis, and is largely conducted through his consultancy firm, Star Lizard. And it's basically revolutionized the way Brighton do their scouting of players, and it has been highly successful. It identifies raw talent around the world, turning players into multi-million-pound assets who are then sold at vast profits to make money that is reinvested back in the squad to continue building and improving it. So Sullivan, is he about to be handed the blueprint for something that matches or could even be better than what Bloom has got at Brighton? The new partnership with Amazon and Crayon could hand him the very tools to do just that. The footballing world, or the world in general really, is becoming increasingly defined by who can process the most data, the most information in the fastest and in the fastest way. And this collaboration signals a decisive shift in how we go about identifying players that fit the needs of West Ham. This technology is designed not only to deliver data on players who will be an immediate good fit, but players who will benefit West Ham in the long term as well. For Amazon and Crayon, the deal marks a flagship project that's the start of what could be a game-changing expansion into the Premier League. West Ham, meanwhile, will be given the tools to turn their transfer strategy from the current haphazard and at times desperate into a modern edge in the transfer market that is quickly moving beyond the old-fashioned scouting networks and transfer management methods. Max Hahn said that the system is being designed to reshape how decisions are made. He went on to say the platform we're developing using AI and machine learning builds comprehensive models to evaluate players across multiple dimensions. So things like performance, playing style, team dynamics, age, experience, and even financial fit are all thrown in to ensure that the recruitment that West Ham make aligns with the club's goals. Isn't that refreshing to hear? And he went on to say, by automating and streamlining these processes, we can analyze vast data sets across markets and efficiently identify top talent, making player selection more strategic, more consistent, and more future focused. Refreshing. For West Ham's hierarchy, the pull of this new technology should be pretty clear. Better long-term squad planning, fewer costly player recruitment errors, and a recruitment process that can compete with clubs operating on far larger budgets. West Ham's executive director Nathan Thompson framed the collaboration as both a commercial and cultural statement. He went on to say this collaboration marks a significant milestone for West Ham as we put ourselves at the forefront of innovation by working alongside Amazon and Crayon, both industry global leaders. He then said to have an AI-powered talent identification platform solely tailored for West Ham scouting and recruitment needs will ensure that we attract exciting talent to the London Stadium. West Ham went on to say, Crayon, which has delivered several Bundesliga AI projects, sees this partnership as a natural step in football's evolution. If it delivers on its promise, West Ham will emerge as one of the most advanced recruitment infrastructures in football. A system designed not to replace our scouts, but to widen their field of vision. Great stuff. But will it be allowed to work at a club like West Ham? Or will David Sullivan do what David Sullivan always does? And if he sees no immediate return, he ends up ditching any new idea and reverts back to his tried and tested or not so tested usual agents to bring players in. Well, look, this technology is designed to make much more informed decisions rather than what one of Sully's scouting friends might think, which usually ends up with West Ham buying a player who's well past their best at prices that are far too inflated and ends up bringing next to no reward to the club. Nicholas Füllkrug is a prime example of that latest approach. Scouts and coaches will still need to be used, but their instincts will, their use of instincts will be better informed through this AI platform. And Hahn's involvement is crucial because if you feed rubbish data into this system, you're going to get rubbish data out. Hahn will translate football needs into clear questions for the AI platform. Not technical commands, but plain briefs that mean something to Nuno and his coaches. It's quite interesting times ahead. But one thing that we know is that Nuno does like to use his super agent, Jorge Mendes, to do his player recruitment for him. So how's that going to fit into this new AI equation? Well, Nuno is the decision maker on the pitch. Nuno will use the tool to say what he needs in simple terms. his preferred player profiles, the energy he expects from each role, the tactical priorities, and so on. The system then supplies candidates who match those needs. So Nuno gets options that actually suit how he wants to play. But Jorge Mendes will still have a role to play as well, because he will be able to act as a facilitator to bring the players in that AI has identified. And his contacts throughout the game will help him open doors to get those players at West Ham. With the AI, Mendes, with the AI and Mendes, we can see which of his clients actually match what West Ham requires. So it can work the other way as well. You know, Nuno Mendes can turn around and say, "Look, I've got player X. Let's feed his information into this AI database and see what comes out. Let's see if there's a match there as well." So everyone's time is used better, and deals will either happen quickly or they will die pretty quickly as well. No long, wasted changes that we become so accustomed to over the years. But in fairness, Mendes doesn't really need AI to tell him how to spot a good player. He's got a network himself of really, really good talent across the globe. But like I said, it can be reversed. We can put the information in that Mendes recommends and see what comes out. And then, of course, the final piece of the jigsaw. We've got AI, we've got a super agent, and now, of course, we've got the replacement of PSR with CSR. Squad cost ratio is a way of checking how healthy a football club's spending is. It looks at the total cost of the players in the squad compared to the money that the club earns each year. In simple terms, it asks, are we spending too much money on players compared to what we're bringing in? If the answer is yes, then the club risks running into financial trouble. If the answer is no, then the club is balancing ambition with stability. Under the new SCR rules, Premier League clubs can spend up to 85% of their footballing revenue and transfer profits or losses, for that matter, on squad costs, such as wages, transfers, and agents' fees. If they go beyond the 85%, then penalties could be applied. For Premier League clubs like West Ham, this measure is especially useful. The league is full of pressure to spend big on transfers and big on wages, but not every club has the same income spending capacity as the likes of Liverpool, Man City, and so on. So by keeping squad cost ratio under control, West Ham can make sure that they're not gambling the future of the club just to chase short-term success. Not that we've done much of that lately. It means that the club can still compete, hope to attract good players, and grow steadily without risking any financial crisis. In short, SCR is about living within your means. For West Ham, it's better because it protects the club's long-term health while still giving fans a team that can fight for the here and now. But the expenditure is only as good as the income that the club generates. So I would expect to see more pressure on West Ham to be more financially successful in things like bringing money in on sponsorship, for example, or making sure that we stay in the Premier League, thus attracting big TV money, and other areas like merchandise. But do not be surprised if season tickets and match day ticket prices start increasing in order to bring in the extra revenue. So there you have it. AI to be used to identify talent with data-driven analysis, Jorge Mendes to negotiate getting those players that AI has identified into the club, and financial restrictions removed to hopefully allow West Ham a more level playing field in the transfer market. What could possibly go wrong? Oh yeah, the club's decision-making is all down to one man.